Hello, hello, gorgeous, beautiful people out there getting slim, trying to get slim, wishing they could get slim, already got slim, and couldn't give a shit about getting slim. It's day 242 of my Mounjaro journey, week 35, happy hump day Wednesday, the 23rd of April 2025. So, all of you guys out there using MedExpress, listen up. You've probably had an email or a text message or both from MedExpress saying we can no longer share our codes on media, on social media, which is a bit shit because it was them that told us we could. And it said you need to go and delete all your stuff off with your codes on by the 25th of April, which is not much time. It's really not much time at all. Or you could lose your credits, or you could lose your code, or something like that. I can't bloody remember what it said, but I was just like, what? So I just spent the last 2 hours trawling through Facebook, trying to remove everything. Because I have been naughty, jumping on official. When you get official advertisements for like Voy and Juniper and stuff like that, and I'll go and have a look at the comments and I'll sort of join in with the comments saying, oh, I'm on that, blah, 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 you know. I get mine from blah, blah, and I'll give you a code. And it worked a treat. It worked an absolute treat. I did get a few of them removed from Facebook anyway, even though I never mentioned the medication itself. Because I never put anything like that on me posts. So it's really annoying. Really annoying. So it's probably because of all the spamming. We're all spamming, aren't we? And why wouldn't we? I mean, every time somebody uses my code, I get 40 quid, you know what I mean? I've never had to pay for my pens since September. I've only ever paid for one pen with MedExpress. And my very first pen was with, I don't know, Pharmacy to You or something like that. So in total, in 7 months, my total MJ journey has cost me something like, I don't know, I'm just going to say 250 quid. And I've got enough backup in my fridge to last me for another 7 months. And I've got enough credit for another couple, you know, so of course we're going to get our codes out there. Oh, God. First yawn of the day. So I've had a busy day doing that and some other stuff. Went to hairdressers. I went to the doctors to get my blood pressure checked out. Took what I'd wrote down. And it was like, oh, they're really good. That's really good. And I said, yeah, but it's not for me. It's a sudden change for me. So basically, anyone doesn't know what I'm talking about. I've been getting these really bad squeeze and pressure feelings and dizziness when I was like either getting up off the sofa to go in the kitchen or bend down to do something. I'd be just like, oh, what is that? You know, as if somebody's just suddenly pumped your head up with something. You're just like, oof. You know, feeling a little bit lightheaded, dizzy in that sense. And I've got my blood pressure machine off my son. Oh, here we go. I am tired today, like, I'm tired. I've done a 10-day review of my blood pressure. Mine used to always be something like, I'm going to say 127/75. Good, very good blood pressure. Best part of my life, it's always been good. Even when I was overweight, and that was when I was overweight as well, when I was 17 stone. I mean, obviously I'm still overweight, but you know what I mean. And I would expect it to get a bit better over the last 7 months. But this was like a sudden change, and I never had these feelings before. So when I did my readings, my average, a lot of them were like, say, 109/85 and 100/82, and it was really weird, The bottom end had gone high and the top end had gone low. But she's looking at it as if it's like, oh, well, that's perfectly normal, that's lovely. Pisses me off, you know, when you go to your GPs for stuff. So I said, I'm just being vigilant. I said, because I've been having these dizzy spells and these moments. I said, I might get them for 3 days in a row and then I might not get anything for a couple of days and then I might get it for a day and then I might not. I said, it's very hit and miss. I said, I got out of bed one day, just got up, went to go to the toilet, like I always do, and it was that bad, I felt quite dizzy, I had to hold the wall, and I was like, whoa, what's going on here? And this really bad pressure headache. She goes, no, I don't know what could be causing your headaches and blah, but there's nothing wrong with your blood pressure. And at that point, she hadn't even took me blood pressure at that stage. So I said, is it... I said, I'm just a bit concerned because for me, that has suddenly changed. And we're not talking about one reading, we're talking about best 3 readings and then another 3 readings and another 3 readings per day. So you're getting an accurate thing, you know what I mean? Over 10 days. Yeah. A few weeks before all this started happening, I'd been for that hysteroscopy thing, hadn't I, if you remember? They did my blood pressure there, and it was like it usually is. Do you know what I mean? So it was a little bit lower on the top, but I thought, well, it's all right. It's good. You know what I mean? Lost weight, so yeah, fair enough. But for it to suddenly, the week after, start having all these funny feelings and then that. So I said I was a bit annoyed, actually. In fact, I was a bit stressed. I said, it's difficult, isn't it? I said, because you feel like you're being paranoid. I said, but then people say, don't ignore these symptoms. You should go and see your GP. But then when you do come and see somebody, you're told, oh, it's all fine, it's all fine. And she said, oh, well, I am going to do your blood pressure now. I will check your blood pressure. I thought, yeah, you just fucking really made me feel like shit. In fact, when you just feel like yourself going to cry. I said, oh, sorry, I'm just getting a bit anxious now. And I was anxious when she was doing my blood pressure. So, sod's law, my blood pressure there was 134 over 75, which is nearer to what my original blood pressure. And she said, oh, your blood pressure's fine. And I was like, is it normal to fluctuate so much? Like to be that and that? She said, oh, yeah. When I'm at home relaxed, sometimes mine's 96 over 70. And then at work, it can be 140 over 70. So I wasn't very reassured. I said, so if it's not my blood pressure, then what's causing these sudden pressure in my head? I said, I'll check your ears, check your eyes, which are fine. And she said, look, just to be on the safe side, she said, I'll order some more blood tests. Because I said, look, I did have some blood tests not so long back. And the only thing that come back dodgy was my liver function, which it's usually dodgy anyway because I have got fatty liver disease. But one of the readings was a lot higher than what it was in the past. And you'd think, if anything, losing all this weight, the fatty liver disease would be improved. And then I also told her about these niggling pains that I've been getting under my ribs. I said, I've been all right the last couple of days, apart from a little niggle yesterday. I said, but when I did get it, it was 2 days of, under there. And just being on the Mounjaro, I just need to be vigilant for things like gallstones and stuff. I said, I sound like a hypochondriac. I'm not. I just don't want to ignore these things and end up in bloody hospital. I don't want to ignore these pressure headaches, and then it turns out 6 months later, it's like, oh, you've got a massive brain tumour. Why didn't you tell us that you were having these problems? I said, don't worry, I'm not thinking I've got a brain tumour or anything like that. But it's not the point, is it? It's not the fucking point. They get paid to look after us. We pay national insurance to pay their wages to look after us and provide a service for us. And don't get me wrong, she was very nice. But I just felt like it was a bit, I don't know, patronising, condescending, whatever you want to call it. Just a bit like, oh, there's nothing wrong with that, go away. That's what I felt like. So after telling her that I felt a bit like that. She said, well, we'll get you checked out. I'll order some more blood tests. And she said, and we might do an ECG just to make sure everything's all right. I said, oh, okay. She said, get in touch with your GP, you know, your own, because this was like an out of hours thing. So it wasn't even my GP. It was like the next door neighbour's GP. You know, there's loads of different GP surgeries. And it's in like a primary care trust hospital, my GP's. And apart from having to wait 6 weeks to get in my own GP for a booked appointment. Oh. I'll ring up at 8 o'clock in the morning every day to get in, which I couldn't be asked doing. I said, well, we can get you in this out of hours one in 2 weeks' time. So I said, oh, that'll do, which is what I did. So, yeah, I'm on the right rant these last couple of days. On a good note, well, yous might not like it, but I think it's good for me. So when I was talking about me moving to Spain next year, and I said, oh, I wouldn't mind doing a bit of TikTok selling, you know, selling some of their stuff, promoting some of their stuff, providing I like it. I wouldn't sell any old shit. You know what I mean? But I do buy stuff all the time off TikTok. And quite often when you have something, you know, I might think, oh, do you like my lipstick? That's nice. And go, and you do get people saying, oh, I really like that. Where did you get that from? And then I can just stick a link in and make a bit of extra pocket money. So I'm going to start doing that now, so that by the time I go to Spain next year, hopefully, it'll have had time to build up a bit better. Do you know what I mean? I get more followers and get more things, so that by the time, you know, build up. So, you know, I'll probably be lucky if I get £3 a week. But by the time I go to Benidorm, I might get £50 a week, might not in commission. I don't know. So you might see me showing the odd things that I've bought that I'm going to promote. And, yeah, we shall see from there. And I wouldn't promote anything I didn't like. So I'm not going to... It's like I bought them eyelashes from there. Self-adhesive eyelashes. Oh, that was a fucking nightmare, you know what I mean? I just couldn't manage them. They were nice once I got them on, but they were a bit of a nightmare. Would I recommend them? No. And then I'd think about this other set off there that had the black glue and the bonding and all the rest of it. You know, the particular ones that I bought, which were dead cheap, they're only £4. The eyelashes themselves are really like hard. They weren't like soft and nice. And the black stuff was a bugger to go all over the place, so I wouldn't recommend them either. So you won't see me selling that particular brand. However, like say Tatty Lashes, for example, they might do a nice thingy one with a clear glue, and I might love them. You might see me selling them. Anyway, I'm talking shite. You always talk shite, don't I? How long have I been on? 13 minutes again. Fucking hell. And most of you have already tuned out a long time ago. So I haven't had a cheeky midweek weigh-in. So another couple of days, then it'll be weigh day, won't it? See you later, guys. Mwah. Keep shrinking. Bye.